Look in my eyes, what do you see? AEW is failing. That's right, guys. I hope you like that little intro. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition, a special start time here today of the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio, brought to you once again by the delicious, affordable, good for you, 100% beef brisket from Planet Jerky. Get yourself some Planet Jerky. Go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some delicious beef jerky today. Planet Jerky. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. And please, fans of the show and fans of IE Sports Radio, do yourself a favor. Follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. It is the hub for all of our shows. You get links to every live broadcast that's going on. Every time we have a show on live, you can actually catch up on old episodes as well. If you've missed any, go to IESportsRadio.com. And sign up. It's completely free to sign up to be a part of the website. You can actually do some blog postings, interact with us, the hosts of all the great IE Sports Radio shows, such as 3 and Out, The Heart of Texas, Spaced Out, SoCal Supreme Sports, you name it. We have so many other great shows on the network. Too many for me to remember at this moment. I do apologize if I missed anybody, but please show some love to the IE Sports Radio fam, and we even have a merch store. So throw some shekels our way and buy yourself a T-shirt, a hat, and just help out the brand. If you're a fan, help out the brand. And please, thank you for tuning in live here on Spreaker for the special start time of the IE Wrestling Show. If you are listening live, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you're listening later on the download on one of our many platforms that we're broadcasting on, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or if you're listening on YouTube after the show has already aired live, thank you again. As I take a sip of my coffee here, it is the early morning of Tuesday, October 10th, and it's a big day. If you notice the name of the title of this episode, the Tuesday Night War, because that is what's going on tonight. It is kind of reminiscent of the Attitude Era Monday Night Wars between WWE and WCW. And again, the Turner Networks are involved because tonight on TBS, AEW Dynamite will air on a special Tuesday night due to the Major League Baseball playoffs that are currently going on. Go Rangers! Woo! That's right. Got to root for my Rangers since I live here in Fort Worth, Texas. I personally would love to see the. I think they're in the playoffs. I hope I don't sound like an idiot saying this, but the last time I looked at the brackets, I saw that the LA Dodgers, were in the playoffs. So I would love to see the Dodgers against the Rangers as the World Series matchup. But beggars can't be choosers, so we will see. The Rangers are doing awesome. They're up 2-0 now. Ooh, that's not looking good. I just looked at the Dodgers. They're down 0-2, so they're on the opposite ends of things. But hopefully they can bounce back from that 0-2 deficit and make it to the next round of the playoffs. So, and I'm in a great mood. I am in such a great mood. I have only gotten maybe 5 hours of sleep, if that. But I am in such a fantastic mood. I finally won a fantasy football matchup for our IE Sports Radio League. The Saints fucking smashed. They Hulk smashed the Patriots 34-0. And then the San Francisco 49ers did all of us a favor and fucking smashed the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, God, 42-10. 42-10. Fucking Dak looked like he was trying out to be the new quarterback for the 49ers with all those interceptions he was throwing. Woo! Bam! Right to them. Oh, my God. Oh, so I am in a fantastic mood today. I digress. I'm moving on. I digress from my original point. But yes, tonight is the Tuesday Night Wars. AEW on a special broadcast on TBS tonight for AEW Dynamite with their AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday is what they're calling it. Is going to be going head-to-head with WWE NXT tonight. So a lot of big things are going down on NXT tonight. They announced for NXT that Asuka will be returning to the brand. The former NXT Women's Champion from its black and gold era will be going one-on-one with another former NXT Women's Champion in Roxanne Perez. That should be a fantastic matchup. I'm really looking forward to that match. Then one half of the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the American Nightmare, wow! Cody Rhodes will be in attendance on NXT for the first time ever to make a major announcement. Whatever that major announcement is, I have no clue, but fantastic. Cody Rhodes will be live and in attendance at the Performance Center tonight for NXT. And not only that, the big main event that they're going with big implications. It will be running it back. These two former NXT champions will be going one-on-one against one another with two special participants in their corner. Braun Breaker will have the wise man himself of the bloodline, Paul Heyman, in his corner, and Carmelo Hayes will have the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, according to WWE, John Cena! That's right, John Cena is coming to the NXT brand and will be in the corner of Carmelo Hayes as he takes on Braun Breaker, who will also have in his corner Paul Heyman. And not confirmed, but apparently at the end of the NXT commercial that's been promoting this big, humongous NXT episode tonight, there went off a gong, which can only mean one man, the Phenom himself. Apparently, rumor going around is that The Undertaker will be making an appearance tonight on NXT. Guys, this is not a joke. This is not a drill. WWE is giving a big fuck you to AEW. And not only that, on top of the fuck you they're already giving them, WWE announced that the first 30 minutes of WWE NXT tonight will be commercial free. That's right, commercial free for the first 30 minutes of its broadcast. And Tony Khan, while he's sitting in his room, twiddling his thumbs, probably doing some lines of dialogue. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. He decided to fire back with, you know what, AEW, we're gonna go 30 minutes commercial free. And one moment. Oh, I got a great idea. We're gonna have a buy-in for a free television show, and we're gonna have Eddie Kingston defending his championships against Minoru Suzuki. That's right, on the internet. I'm a genius. Dave Meltzer loves me. I'm a genius. That was my impression of socially awkward, inept Tony Khan, the owner of AEW. And that is what he is trying to counter with, that AEW's Title Tuesday will also be commercial-free for its first 30 minutes, and that prior to the show going live on TBS, you could go on to their official social media platforms and their YouTube page and watch a championship match for the Strong Openweight Championship and the Ring of Honor World Championship of Eddie Kingston defending both titles against New Japan Pro Wrestling's living legend himself, Minoru Suzuki. And some of the matchups that he has announced for his big event tonight, one of the big ones that he's been going with is, of course, you have Bryan Danielson going one-on-one for the first time ever with Swerve Strickland, where the winner will become the number one contender to the TNT Championship, currently held by the Instant Classic Christian Cage. And this will be the official in-ring debut of Adam Copeland, the Rated R superstar formerly known as Edge in the WWE, where he will go one-on-one with Luchasaurus. So you got Luchasaurus and Adam Copeland, you got Danielson and Swerve Strickland, and you got Kingston and Suzuki prior to the show going live on TBS. And then, I don't know, I feel like WWE's definitely stacked a high deck, especially since last week it was revealed that AEW's Dynamite, their premiere show, Dynamite, this is their main show. This is, to make it in terms that people can understand, this is their Raw, because Raw is always seen as the number one show for WWE. This is their longest running show, bar none, and this is their main show. So Dynamite is that for AEW. Dynamite lost in the ratings last week to NXT. NXT had a verified audience of 857,000 viewers, and AEW had a verified audience of 803,000 viewers. So your premiere show got beat by the developmental brand of the WWE. And that is why both of these brands are pulling out all the stops tonight. I know which show I'll be watching, NXT, obviously. I don't know which show you'll be watching, guys. Hit me up if you follow me on X at IE Wrestling Show, and let me know what show you plan on watching tonight in this Tuesday night war that's going on. This is going to be a very humbling experience for someone. I hope and pray that NXT is the one that comes out with the ratings victory tonight. I really do, because Tony Khan is a fucking idiot, and he doesn't need to have any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Any sort of validation to his shitty brand of wrestling at this time. He really does not, because things are not looking good for AEW, especially according to one of their biggest fans, which is surprising to hear coming from his mouth. He's usually full of shit most of the time, but surprisingly, he's actually accurate here for a change. And that person I'm talking about is Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling News Observer recently, on his latest episode of the podcast, said that they are cold. This is about AEW. They are cold. Boy, are they cold. And how to change that? Man, that's hard to do. Edge there at Collision last night, and it didn't move any or a lot of tickets. Edge is a good performer, and he's a good talker and everything like that, but it's not Punk as far as a game changer. And yeah, so I don't know if anyone saw the videos and the pictures floating around about this past Saturday night, AEW's Collision that was going on on the same night as WWE's Fastlane, which we'll get into here shortly. The results of that, which was a fucking awesome show, by the way, from top to bottom. Beautiful card, beautiful, awesome night of wrestling. Fantastic. More on that in a few minutes. But AEW had their Collision, their Saturday night show, this past Saturday, and it was about 80% empty. It was fucking sad to see, man. It really was. I even sent my boy Larry B, the head honcho of IE Sports Radio, a photo of half of the arena that I found when Ricky Starks and Big Bill, for those who don't know, Big Bill was known as Big Cass at one time in the WWE. They defeated FTR for the AEW Tag Team titles in a random fucking match, which I did not see coming. Apparently it was a squash. The outcome of the FTR losing the AEW World Tag Team titles on AEW Collision actually sparked some curiosity about their future, especially given the quick and surprising nature of the match. In the match, Big Bill and Ricky Starks managed to secure a victory against FTR in under 5 minutes, with Dax Harwood bearing the brunt of the offense. Given the unique style of the match and the recent departure of CM Punk from the company, questions naturally arose regarding FTR's direction and future in AEW. The unexpected outcome of the title change left many fans speculating of what might be in store for the former champions. According to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful, FTR was actually in favor of the title change and the way the match played out. They saw it as an opportunity to make Collision feel special and distinct. It's worth noting that there have been some speculations about Cash Wheeler's health, especially after his match last week on WrestleDream and his limited offense during the title bout. However, this injury has not been confirmed at the time of the report. Regarding the trademark issue, as it was notated that FTR's Dax Hardwood filed for the trademark of CMFTR, It led a lot of people to speculate about its potential use. Several sources noted that FTR could use this name outside of AEW or in New Japan Pro Wrestling. FTR has been proactive in managing their trademarks, a practice they started before leaving WWE. Furthermore, it was mentioned that FTR's contract in AEW has extended to 2027, indicating a long-term commitment to the company. While there are initial discussions about a match between FTR and the Young Bucks at AEW Full Gear, it does not appear to be currently in the works. Overall, FTR's decision to drop the titles and their ongoing relationship with AEW suggests they are actively involved in shaping their career path, and their future endeavors will likely continue to intrigue wrestling fans. So, people were jumping the gun, basically, about them dropping the titles in such a crazy fashion. It was a squash, literally. But I guess it was all their ideas. So, I mean, kudos to them to try and, build some intrigue for Collision, to try and get some eyes on the product. Because lately, since Punk got released by AEW, Collision's numbers have been, just fucking skyrocketing downwards. They're just in the toilet, really. As a matter of fact, I actually have some numbers here I want to share with you about that. Here, this is actually what I was talking about here earlier about the Dynamite and AEW Dynamite and NXT last week. So last week's Dynamite garnered its second lowest viewership of the year. 800,000 tuned in to see Adam Copeland's first AEW promo. That's it. As big as the star in professional wrestling Edge is at one time, I guess, I thought he was still big. He was pretty big still when he was in the WWE. And fair for AEW, fair for Adam and WWE, especially Triple H, this past weekend during the post pay-per-view press conference at Fastlane. They both have said that it was an amicable separation between the two parties because they just could not come to terms on what to do for Edge. Edge wanted to do more. WWE really couldn't think of anything else for Edge to do. I mean, Edge has done everything in that company. Excuse me. Edge has done everything that he could possibly do in that company. Edge has the record for holding the most championships in the WWE at 36 over every reign of every championship he has ever had. That's all accumulated together. That's every tag team championship. That's every intercontinental championship, United States championship, and world championship, all running together. And not to mention multiple Royal Rumble wins and a King of the Ring victory as well. And Money in the Bank, multiple Money in the Bank victories as well. You have to take into accumulation there as well. So Edge and WWE, they separated on a good split. You know what I mean? So there's always potential for Edge to return at one time. But the WWE and him both felt like he's done it all. They couldn't think of anything else for him to do, and they decided it would probably be best that we go our separate ways at this time. Yeah, but Edge is no CM Punk, apparently, when it comes to moving the needle for a company. And he did not move any ticket sales either for Collision. It was really sad to see how empty that arena really was. It really was it was bad. I mean, it was really sad. It's sad. I feel like it's really sad for the performers. I know they love professional wrestling, regardless of how many fans are in the arena. They're gonna just go out and do their thing to the best of their ability, no matter what. Excuse me, but if there's nobody in the crowd, man, that's just really sad. Because this style of wrestling, this type of wrestling that AEW and Tony Khan have fostered, does not work on a national platform. This is an indie-rific show on a weekly basis. This type of wrestling is good in small doses. This doesn't work on a weekly basis every single week, 3 times a week, let alone whatever pay-per-views that Tony Khan is factoring into his head with fucking 15, 14, 16 matches. Tony Khan doesn't understand the concept of less is more. But you got 2 fucking man-children as EVPs in the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, who made their career on the indies,
And honestly, every match that they've ever done has been the exact fucking same. They do the exact same fucking spots, no matter what type of match or person they are wrestling. It's always the same with them. And they have fostered the style that made them popular on the indies. And they're basically made a indie company into a national platform, but it cannot sustain itself. For a company that's only 4 years in, they should not be this, to quote Dave Meltzer, cold already. 4 years in, you should not already be 80% of the arena empty. That's just insane to me. But yeah, I mean, oh god. But yeah, I mean, it's just the way I'm looking at it is like this. I was talking to one of my buddies about this the other day. And it's just AEW, a lot of, people say history repeats itself. Time is cyclical. It goes in circles. Everything happens for a reason. And this is already looking like the WCW, WWE Monday Night Wars Attitude Era already. For one reason and one reason only. This is why. And I want you guys to understand this. WWE has already begun to, and will continue to, lure young, talented athletes from AEW and turn them into bigger stars. And AEW is going to lure veteran, already established stars from the WWE to AEW, much like WCW did and WWF at the time did back in the 90s. Example, WCW made their name off of guys that were already established. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. You get it? You see where I'm going with this, right? WWE, they did the opposite. They got the Giant, turned him into the Big Show. They had Chris Jericho, turned him into Y2J. You had Eddie Guerrero, turned him into Latino Heat. Rest in peace, and happy belated birthday to the GOAT. You had Chris Benoit, turned him into a world champion. You had the Dudley Boys from ECW, turned him into a bigger, more legendary tag team than they already were at ECW. WWE fosters the younger talent and turns them into bigger, better stars. And now we are in that process once again. WWE lured away Cody Rhodes, even though he was a WWE product when he first came into professional wrestling all the way back in 2008. That he was in Ohio Valley Wrestling. AEW, but he once he left WWE and went on his own and got some more experience under his belt on the Indies, in Ring of Honor, and in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was one of the founders of AEW. They can't be erased. But I have to say that even though being one of the founders of AEW, Cody Rhodes is a bigger star today than his entire run with that company. Cody Rhodes is a bigger star today than he ever was. In both his previous WWE run and his AEW run. WWE was able to lure away Jade Cargill, the former first ever AEW TBS Women's Champion, the undefeated monster that she was. They were able to lure her away, and this past Saturday, she showed up on Fastlane in a grand entrance in this big, beautiful SUV. She came out looking fucking absolutely gorgeous from head to toe. She was looking like a fucking queen. Yes, queen. Yas, queen to her. And she was met in the parking lot of the arena by Triple H, making her look like a fucking star in 5 minutes than her entire run in All Elite Wrestling. And AEW, what do they got? They got Jon Moxley, former WWE's Dean Ambrose, former WWE champion. They got Chris Jericho, former multiple-time world champion in WWE, who believes his shit doesn't stink. You know, he thinks very highly of himself. They got Bryan Danielson, former WWE champion Daniel Bryan, who became a star where? In the WWE. And now they've lured away Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, one of the biggest stars in WWE's history. So now you're seeing it happen again. WWE is going to continue to foster and lure away the young AEW talent, and it's going to be the opposite, where AEW is going to lure away the already established veteran talent when their contracts are up. I already see that happening. I mean, even Dave Meltzer's stupid ass even sees it happening. He says several AEW contracts will be up at the end of the year, and WWE will be looking to sign all of the key ones. That's how he quote-unquote key ones. He didn't say specifically who. WWE's creative for Jade Cargill has been deemed as important, as she's not going to be the last person to jump ship. Which I already know she's not going to be the last person to jump ship. I think that we're going to see the likes of guys like, I could totally see Wardlow jumping ship to the WWE. I could totally see Ricky Starks jumping to the WWE, especially since he is good friends with Cody Rhodes. I could see, who else is a young talent that I could see jumping over to, I mean, hell, I keep losing this because he hasn't debuted yet on WWE TV, but Brian Pillman Jr. has already jumped ship as well. He was actually the first one. He was signed before Jade Cargill, and he's about to debut on NXT. They're actually going to give him a name change, so they're not going to go with Brian Pillman Jr. As reported here on WrestlingAttitude.com. Former AEW star Brian Pillman Jr. has been featured in vignettes on NXT in recent weeks, hinting at his imminent debut in WWE. However, it appears that when he makes his debut, he won't be referenced as Brian Pillman Jr. WWE recently filed a trademark for the name Lexus King, which is believed to be the new ring name for Pillman Jr. The name Lexus is a tribute to his late sister Alexis, and King is a reference to his late mother, Melanie's remarried name after the passing of Brian Pillman Sr. While the information is not officially confirmed by the company, there is speculation within the WWE Performance Center that the name Lexus King has been designated for Brian Pillman's use when he makes his WWE debut on the NXT brand. And fun fact, before when he actually first started wrestling on the indie scene, he didn't wrestle under his father's name, or his actual given name, Brian Pillman Jr. He wrestled as Alex King. So this would actually make sense that they would go with this name, especially if it's something that he himself came up with, especially as a tribute to both his late mother and his late sister. So, I mean, hey, you can't ignore who he looks like because he looks just like his father. I'm sure they're gonna acknowledge who his father was, but he's gonna establish himself as his own man under this ring name. So kudos to him. So yeah, see, that's another young talent that's already been brought over and is gonna be fostered under the WWE umbrella. And even former WCW former WCW president Eric Bischoff sees the writing on the wall with this. On his 83 Weeks podcast, Eric Bischoff suggested that WWE's red carpet treatment of both Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill serves as a subtle message to individuals currently in AEW that joining WWE can elevate their careers to the next level. And this is what he said, quote from Eric Bischoff directly: "The subtle message, whether it's intentional or not, is going to WWE is a step up. Going to AEW is a step down. It's just what it is. First of all, who does that message land on the most? Who is most affected by that message in AEW? Guys like MJF? Not everybody that's in AEW has the potential of ever seeing me inside of a WWE arena unless they buy a ticket to go watch." After being called out for his harsh statement by Conrad Thompson, Bischoff named some AEW stars that he believes could be a benefit to WWE someday. Some, MJF being one of them. There are probably others, Sammy Guevara perhaps, Ricky Starks perhaps, There are maybe others, but of the 170 people on that roster, you're talking about a handful of people that really had the potential of going there. Many of them have already been there and spent decades of their career there, so it's just what it is. It just is what it is. May hurt to hear it for some people, but nonetheless, it's true. That's the message that matters the most. So when a Ricky Starks or an MJF, when their deals are coming up and they look at what happened to Cody, they look at what happened with Jade, assuming it goes well, I'm pretty sure it will. That's when the message matters. The rest of it doesn't. To so many of the talent in AEW, it really won't matter because they aren't going to be in that position. The people who are, or will be, or who think they will be, are going to hear that message loud and clear. NJF, of course, has often talked about the bidding war of 2024, which is only a mere months away. We're already in the middle of October, so we're literally 2.5 months away from the bidding war of 2024, and the possibility that MJF may go to WWE. But right now, he is the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He's probably the quarterback of AEW and is not afraid to call himself out on dropping the ball occasionally. But right now, we are getting close to this possible bidding war for MJF services, and MJF is a close confidant of Cody Rhodes as well, just like Ricky Starks. So, could the current AEW World Champion be on his way out sometime in the next year? You know, it's not far-fetched, guys. It's actually quite possible. MJF is a young talent, yes. Is the company on it? Is he holding the company on his shoulders right now as the champion? Yes, that's what the champion should be doing because he is the champ. But if he sees a deal that means more, especially more money, because he's got to look out for himself, more money. I mean, you can't blame the guy. Edge cut a deal with AEW for more money. I'm sure they're paying him handsomely to be there. Just like a lot of the other veteran talents are possibly getting paid handsomely. That's beside the point. But MJF has got to look at it like, where can my career go? He's already done it all. I would say he's already done it all in AEW. He's already been world champion. He's in his current reign as champion, a very lucrative long reign as champion. He's currently a Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion for some reason with Adam Cole. He's main evented pay-per-views against legends. He's had legendary matches against CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole. So, what is there more for him to do in AEW? Realistically, not much. So, I mean, Tony Khan better fucking whip out that checkbook because I think that's the only thing that could possibly save him from losing one of his top talents. But even more so, it may not even come down to just money. It may just come down to MJF betting on himself that if I was a success here, I know I can be a success there. I'm going to test the waters. That could very well be the deciding factor. We're going to take a short little break, guys, and we'll be back with some more wrestling content, okay? We'll be right back shortly, guys. Stay with me, all right?
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the live broadcast of the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, still here talking WWE, AEW. This is a really news-heavy episode. I thought I'd have enough time. Hopefully, I have enough time to get to the results of Fastlane and actually talk a little bit about Impact Wrestling. I don't want to leave them out in the dust. I actually got some NWA news. You know what? Let's just keep it rolling, guys. So, yeah, this is actually big, awesome news to talk about. I'm a big fan, of course, of L.A. Knight. Yeah! He is a big star right now, and for the third straight month, guys, LA Knight is WWE's top merchandise seller. He's sold more merchandise than John Cena, than Cody Rhodes, than the Judgment Day, than the Bloodline, than Roman Reigns. It is LA Knight. Yeah! LA Knight is doing the damn thing, guys. He is fucking awesome. And his push is phenomenal right now. He's doing big things. He teamed with John Cena this past weekend at Fastlane. I only see big things in the future of LA Knight, especially with those numbers. I need to get myself a damn shirt already, man, for real. Unfortunate news on the injury side of things. Eric of the Viking Raiders is out with an injury. WWE commentator Wade Barrett announcement on last Monday Night's Raw revealed concerning news for fans of the Viking Raiders. Eric currently sidelined and will be out of action for the foreseeable future. Eric's absence from in-ring competition dates back actually all the way to September 14th episode of WWE Main Event, taped on September 11th. He and his tag team partner Ivar were scheduled to compete against the New Day on the September 18th episode of Raw, but Eric was not cleared to wrestle. Ivar has continued to wrestle on Raw since Eric's absence, with notable matches against Woods and Kingston, and they actually had a fucking awesome Viking rules match last night on Raw between Kofi Kingston and Ivar. Ivar and Kingston had a great match last night. That was the very top of the hour. That was the first match of the night. Ivar, there was a crazy spot where Kingston grabbed Ivar by his long beard, twisted it in his hands, and fucking tossed him off the top rope to the floor through a table by his beard. And then the finish came with Ivar picking up Kingston, power slamming him through a table that was in the corner, pulled him out from under the debris, got his big ass up on the top rope. Ivar is at least 300 pounds plus, and did a moonsault like a cruiserweight onto the poor, much smaller Kofi Kingston. 1, 2, 3. Ivar defeated Kingston in the Viking rules match. And the team's mascot, Valhalla, which is the real-life wife of Eric, Valhalla, a.k.a. Used to be known as Sarah Logan in a previous run of WWE. She had been absent as well with Eric, but now she returned. She's back on television as of last night, where she helped Ivar against the New Day. last night. Eric's health status, though, and the reason for his absence have not been disclosed yet, but fans will undoubtedly be eager for updates regarding his return to action. So, get well soon, Eric. I would love to see both of the Viking Raiders together once again, but Ivar is holding down the fort with some great one-on-one action week in and week out. So, let's see here. Apparently, news has been going around that the plans for Crown Jewel, which is coming up on November 4th, Saturday, November 4th, live from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, WWE Crown Jewel, that plans have been changed, because apparently the working idea was supposed to be AJ Styles and Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship for that event, but apparently, if all is to be believed from the internet, of course, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, the match that will happen will be now John Cena versus Roman Reigns once again for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at Crown Jewel, which is definitely a big match for such a big event that they have once a year. And so I think it's once a year they go there. Because I don't think that's twice a year. Because they went this year already for Clash of Champions, so I think they have to do twice a year under the terms of their deal there. And apparently, after Cena, it's going to be L.A. Knight. Yeah! As the next challenger. So, that's the current working creative plans for Roman Reigns' next challengers to his championship, leading to WrestleMania. So just take it with a grain of salt, guys. That hasn't been confirmed for sure, but that's the working idea. Let's see. What is this? I have some... Oh, okay, here we go. So this is kind of crazy news. I don't know if Larry B has talked about this on his show, 3 and Out. But apparently, there's a rumor going around, actually, that was confirmed by the man himself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that he has invited former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick to join this new XFL, USFL merged league. The Rock, who owns the XFL, said he met with both Kaepernick and his agents and had a good meeting, looked to create opportunity for him, but Johnson also said in the same breath that he doesn't think it'll happen. Johnson responded to a fan who commented on the post and said, "This is where Cap should play if he wants to prove he still can." And Rock said, "We met with Cap and his agents earlier this year. Good meeting. Looked to create the opportunity for him, but I don't think it'll happen. But we'll see." I don't know. I mean, hell. Apparently, whenever the XFL first started, they extended the invitation to Kaepernick, but his salary demand was deemed too high. So I don't know with this now merged league if they'll try to bring him back into the league once again. Who knows what if they're able to get him, Okay, for some reason my mic was off. I do apologize for that. I hope you guys didn't miss what I was saying. So I don't know how that happened. I do apologize, guys. So basically, what I was saying was, take it with a grain of salt that CM Punk may or may not return, but I have to say never, because past examples show that there is a good chance that Punk and WWE could mend fences, and he could potentially be showing up in Chicago at Survivor Series. Look to the examples of Bret the Hitman Hart. Look to the examples of Goldberg. Look to the examples of Bruno Sammartino, of Ultimate Warrior. All past wrestlers who have had terrible, terrible exits from the company somehow were able to bury the hatchet, mend fences, and come back to the company, be part of the WWE family. CM Punk, we'll just keep our eyes on the situation, guys. With that, hopefully there wasn't too much dead air there. I do apologize for that, guys. I thought my mic was still on. I hope you guys didn't miss too much of what was going on. We will be back next week with another new episode of the IE Wrestling Show. This is your boy, the SoCal Saint. Thank you. Take care, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.